In this video, it's all about waking up the sleeping giant, the biggest muscle of the body, the glutes. So how are we going to wake up that sleeping giant, that glute complex? I call it a complex because there's actually three gluteal muscles: maximus, minimus, and medius. And they're all going to be bunched together in this particular video. We're going to see what the glute does. And when it shortens, most people already know, it extends the hip. Also, it pulls the leg away, so we say that's hip abduction. And then, as it shortens, it will also externally rotate the hip. So if we're looking to really load into the glutes, we want to actually go in the opposite direction. We want to put some load into the muscles like a rubber band as they lengthen, so that when they go in the opposite direction, they have that much more power and experience. Most exercises are all about starting at a neutral position and either mini band steps sideways or hip bridges takes the hips from a neutral position and goes into extension. But very few of them actually take the hips into flexion or adduction or internal rotation, which is exactly where we need to go if we're going to really wake up the biggest muscle of the body. So here's one way that we're going to do it. You can use a glider, giant furniture mover, if you have a paper plate at home, or if even socks on a hardwood floor, anything that's going to allow you with a little slide or glide. We're going to put the glider on the floor, and I'm going to place my left foot upon the glider, because what I'm really focusing on is my right hip, the one that's not on the glider. As the leg goes back, it causes this hip to go into flexion. Now, if I slide the leg across toward the right side, toward the opposite side, it gives me a little bit more adduction, driving the knee toward the big toe. It helps if I take my left hand, as the left leg goes back, my left hand reaches forward. That further drives me into flexion, as well as gives me a little bit of rotation toward the forward leg, further internally rotating and really loading into the glute. And then from here, I'm just going to come back up again into a neutral position. I don't have to go into extension, because this is the other half of the equation we're trying to focus on. Bridges go into extension. We're going to go from flexion and extend back to a tall posture. Now, if the glider's too much for your balance and a little bit compromised, all you need to do is just put one toe on the floor and go through the same motion. Rather than reaching back with the foot, I might just take my hand and reach forward and then come on back up again. Now, if we want more resistance or more intensity, we can take a band anchored somewhere in front of us. A cable system would be fine too. And whichever foot is lifting off the ground or sliding back behind you, that same hand is going to be the one that holds the cable. So as the left leg slides back slightly over to the right, the rubber band is pulling me forward. So I'm trying to create as much distance between the left foot and the left hand as much as I can. And then from here, I'm just going to drive on up. And if I want to do a little bit of a one-arm row and pull that elbow back, that's just added bonus. Lengthen and load that backside and drive from here to get yourself back on up. Now, there's many variations to this. We'll sometimes call it the bowler's reach, where you're going down the lane, you just let go of a ball, it's going and hitting a strike every time. The leg slides back behind you, palm rotates upward, and I come back to a standing posture. All of these are great ways to really engage and activate the biggest muscle of the body. Try them out. Let me know how it goes.